There's nothing you will ever want in your life that you can't have more of if you establish a habit around it.
I'm having a setback given to me so I can grow stronger through the struggle.
That's the most important thing. Learning is a win. Happy Growth Day. Super pumped for today's conversation. We've been talking about mindset all week, and I hope it really helped you guys. I thought today, mindset, we would take on the all-important mindset of what I call integration. And mindset of integration means at the end of each day, or the end of each win, or the end of each week, or the end of each month, I'm going to integrate the lessons that I had about myself, other people, about the world. I'm going to integrate the learnings and the wins that I had into my identity, into my psychology, meaning allow myself to feel the learning, allow myself to remind myself of the good things that happened. You know, a lot of people have a gratitude practice and like, yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm grateful about that. It's like gratitude doesn't work unless it hits the heart and absorbs into the identity, right? Your courage only grows if every time you do something where you stepped up to your fears, you acknowledge that and you go, good job, Jamie. Good job, Brendon. And a lot of people have strings of successes and they never get more confident. They get strings of successes. They never feel happier or more fulfilled. And it's not because they're not achieving, it's that they're not achieving right in such that they're not integrating the successes. You should feel, listen, every year of your life, you should feel more confident. Every year of your, like if you go a whole year and you don't feel more confident, it's not because the Lord didn't give you challenges to grow from that year. It's not because you didn't absolutely have to get stronger to survive the other year. It's because you didn't take a moment throughout the year to integrate and go, oh, wow, I did that. Good job. Those little celebrations of wins, those little integrations of the successes is what I'm talking about. That's the mindset to integrate our learnings. Same thing, if you're a jerk to your spouse or your team one day, if you don't integrate that at night that you acted inappropriately, well, then guess what? The next day, you're more likely to be a jerk again because you didn't integrate the lesson. I hope that helps people.
You know, on the topic of mindset, by the way, just to call out something you just said live that's so powerful. I don't want anyone to miss it. I mean, tiny detail on something you just said. Most people would say, oh, I've had hard times. That would be true. I'm stuck. That would be true. You just said, it's not like the Lord didn't give you hard times to grow from this year. Just the way you said that is such a deep-rooted mindset around when we have a struggle, when we have a setback, when we're in the midst of a hard season, when things aren't going our way. How many people, let's just like really, because I need to grow in this area always, right? I'm always trying to grow in this area. To think of it as, oh, wow, I'm having a setback given to me so I can grow stronger through the struggle. Like, that's it. It's a whole different way to think about it, but most people don't think about it. They think, oh, you know, I just think that's so powerful, just that one sentence you said. But then how to integrate it and how to say, wow, I got through that. Wow, good job. Wow, right? And for you to say too, just how many people even have victories or wins or losses, but never feel fulfilled with them, right? How many people out there, because I have been there, how many people live with us right now on Facebook and Instagram, have you like kept striving for something, an achievement, an outcome, a goal, and then you get it and you're like, oh, like you thought, you thought all of a sudden, right, you'd be fulfilled and you're not. And I think I've done that so many times. And I think that this is so powerful because if you don't have the integration piece, which is what you're talking about, you know, last night, Brendon, on that note, what you shared just reminded me of something. So whenever I'm super, super stressed out, I either randomly surf real estate in random cities I'm never even going to move to on like realtor.com or Zillow. I'll just like look at homes. I don't know. Or I'll read stories and quotes. And so last night I was so stressed out. I'm like, all right, I start reading Oprah interviews online. And one thing she said that I want to share about integration that was so powerful that I read last night is she said, you know, like her life is so full because she practices gratitude, because she is grateful for everything. And she said that people say to her, okay, sure, Oprah, but you have everything to be grateful for, right? So it's easy for you to be grateful. You have everything to be grateful for. And she says, no, I have everything to be grateful for because I'm grateful. Because I'm grateful every day for everything has happened to be grateful for. And it's sort of a chicken and the egg kind of thing, right? And I thought that was really profound. And I think that it's super important. I bring this up once before, Mel Robbins, who's a growth day coach. One of the things I'm so obsessed with that she's doing right now is this whole movement of high-fiving yourself every time you see yourself in the mirror. And I think it's so brilliant. I can't wait to talk to her about it even more. But it's carving this new grain almost of integration, just of being grateful for yourself, of celebrating yourself, of switching the whole neuroplasticity and the way grooves are carved, right? Most of us are used to looking in the mirror. And I'll just speak for myself and for the millions of women I've now had the blessing of getting to know in the course of growing It Cosmetics. Most of us, by the way, I just saw It Cosmetics on here. I've never seen them on here before.
Wow,
so there's
hi,
a team,
What's
millions
up,
of women part of It Cosmetics. I just saw them on here. There's so many
awesome
people part of this morning show, which is amazing. But anyways, I've had this gift of being able to talk with so many women over the years. And here's what they all say. They say when they look in the mirror, the first thing they see is whatever it is they think is wrong. And my whole mission, because of that, because of talking to so many women who say the same thing, was like, okay, how can we look in the mirror and see everything that's right, which is everything, right? I am now able to look in the mirror, see my bright red rosacea, and think that's right. Like, I'm able to do that now, but it took a lot of hard work with mindset. And back to the whole integration thing, you know, Brendon, what are your tips for everyone who's live with us right now on how do we take these wins? And a win might be, I got through the day. A win might be, I did not yell at my spouse today. A win might, like, there's so many different types of wins. A win doesn't have to be, oh, I just had $1 million launch, right? A win could be like, wow, I did better today. But how do we then integrate those around mindset so we start living and building a more fulfilling life?
Great question. And I love everything you just said, by the way. So good. So good. This is why I love doing this show. I know. I'm like, you got some coffee in that mug? Woo!
It is good. Coffee. I promise. After the event, though, I promised Mel Robbins we would have wine. So I might have my Growth Day Morning Show mug with some wine in it Monday night. But right now it's coffee.
I love it. So good. So good. I really believe that, like anything else you want in your life, you don't get it unless you establish habits around it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you will ever want in your life that you can't have more of if you establish a habit around it. And so if you want to have integration and more courage, more confidence, more joy, more fulfillment in your life, that's a practice. That's a habit. And so for me, everyone knows I use my high performance planner on the daily, on the weekly, and on the monthly. And we built prompts into it that make you examine your learning about yourself, other people, about the world. Make you examine what decisions could I have made that would have been better. Make you examine what went great, what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for, what you're looking forward to. Like, developing mindset is a practice. It's like work. If you want to finish your PowerPoint presentation, you have to sit in front of it and create it. If you want to be followed on the internet more, you have to sit in front of the cameras and talk and speak or post. The outcome is dictated by the practice. And the practice here is you need a time. You need that. When do you do it? I do it on Sundays. Sunday's integration day. Sunday's like planning day. Sunday's reflection day. We call it, in my world, the Sunday review. Review. What did you learn? Can you celebrate? What happened that was great? What are you looking forward to? And I know a lot of people go like, oh, well, I get there and, you know, I got nothing to celebrate, because they think integration is just about wins or huge milestones like you were talking about, right? You get the big deal or something. The most important integrations of all time have nothing to do with your amazing ego. What it has to do with, what did you learn? What was provided to you by God or the universe this week to educate you, to give you a new distinction? Because the reason more people aren't more confident, as we talked about in Growth Day this month. This was Confidence Month for our members. So if you're not a member yet, go to growthday.com, become a full member. But our members, we've had the best coaches in the world talking about confidence. And many of them echoed the teaching that we've been putting out, since 2001, which is the competency confidence loop. When you develop more competency, when you learn more, you're more confident. Well, the good news is when you learn more and you practice that, so you have integration and integrity. Well, when you have integration and integrity, you feel good about self. Your self-worth goes, hey, you know what? I'm learning here. I'm making new distinctions. That gives you mastery and maturity. And then you're practicing it, which is integrity, following your word and working hard for the things that matter. And all of a sudden, your body goes, I feel good. Your brain goes, I feel good about myself. And your self-worth grows because you did those very things. But it doesn't happen by accident. Most people never even learn the word integration or the concept of integration until they're in therapy, and which is great. That's one great benefit of having a therapist or a great coach, is to let you know you should be integrating what you are learning. Have you reflected? Have you thought about it? What's that distinction tell you about you now? What's that distinction tell you about what you want next? What's that new thing that you just did? How can you celebrate that so that you feel it and you're rewarded in your brain to keep going when it's hard? These things are important.
Just to throw this idea out there, maybe everyone in the chat right now can just drop in one thing, one win they want to celebrate,
yes,
or just one difficult thing they did well, they overcame. Maybe it's a struggle they got through yesterday. Maybe it's a hard time. Maybe a friend said something that was hurtful and you wanted to just fire back, but you didn't. You just handled it in grace. That is a big win, right? It could be something small. It could be, oh, wow, I got through the day with homeschooling the kids and I didn't lose it. It could be, it could be anything. But I think like getting in this pattern, and I know it's so much more beautifully structured out in the high performance planner and everything else. But even just starting it right now, I think this would be really fun too, just because a lot of people aren't in this habit. They haven't built this habit. They just get through the day, right? So even sharing one thing, that's a win. That's a win from yesterday or from this morning already, yes, right? And sharing it.
And remember, learning is a win. That's the most important thing. Learning is a win. So that's why most people feel so discouraged. They feel like, well, I'm not winning. I'm like, every new distinction, that is a win. Knowing what not to do next time, that's a win. Yeah. A failure is a win, a new distinction, a new learning. And so when you can reorient your mindset to, oh, these lessons are winning. I'm getting better. I'm getting smarter and wiser and more compassionate, more thoughtful, more ready for next time. Like I'm getting stronger despite the struggle, but no, because of the struggle, it's good. It's like, it's honing you. You are being prepared is a mindset I have. I believe we are being prepared. I believe no one watching this, Jamie, myself, no one watching this, I don't believe any of you have met your calling yet. We don't know what our ultimate destiny is. What hangs in the balance in the future for us, what God intends for us or what universe intends for us, what might happen, we might not even know it. But our whole life and all the challenges and the frustrations were built for the singular moment. That happened with Abraham Lincoln. With all his failures, loss, that prepared him to have the empathy to literally be able to heal a nation, right? That happened with Churchill, loss, struggle, weird jobs throughout his entire career until he got in the Admiralty, weird ass jobs. Like, what does this guy do? What is he about? And then World War II. All these experiences suddenly aligned for the perfect action leader to emerge. And you see that in history over and over and over and over again, where you don't even know that all these things. Oprah talks about her journey. She did not know they would all come together in the way that they came together to make her ultimate difference. Even though she knew what her purpose and her passion was, she could never have imagined the platform that she would be gifted. And so I just think it's so important for all of us to go, I'm being honed. For all of us to go, I am in training. Yes. I am being gifted with distinctions that are going to make me ready when the time is right. And you don't know when that time is going to be. So I'm just here, adopt a positive mindset, be grateful for the lessons you're learning, even if they're hard right now.
Yes, that's so good. I remember one of the things you just mentioned. I remember a moment when Oprah Winfrey said to Maya Angelou that, you know, she believes her legacy will be her talk show and the tens of thousands of people that she's had on the show and interviewed, and the millions and millions of people worldwide that, you know, she's touched their lives through her talk show. And she said that Maya said something back to her, and she said, "You have no idea what your legacy will be." She said, "Your legacy will be every single life that you have touched in some way. And you have no idea yet what that legacy will be." And I think that's true of every single one of us. Every single one of us watching live right now, you know, in our own in our own stage, in our own platform, in our own right. And for some of us, our platform is our living room with the people we love and care about and how we're impacting their lives. For some of us, the platform is our neighborhood and the neighbor that we wave to every day, knowing like, oh, that's the only person that might wave to that person today. You know what I mean? For some of us, our platform is part of our profession or part of our online community, and we have no idea what our legacy will be, to use that story and those words from Maya and Oprah. I think that living in that mindset, right? Or being prepared or being honed, that's so powerful, because then it's just a great reminder that when we're in the midst of the hard times and the hardship and the setbacks and the things that totally suck and the things that don't even feel fair at the time, and we don't see that how there could possibly be a reason it's happening to us. But when we know that in the midst of that, oh, we're building a muscle of resiliency and of strength to be able to carry what's to come, I think that's super, super powerful.
And when you know that you're struggling and you can't see or feel or create a meaning to it, that's where pain and suffering enter. And that's why we always say honor the struggle. Like honor that the struggle is here. You might not like it. You might not have called it forth. You didn't ask for it. You didn't deserve it. Something unfair is happening to you. And you still find a way to honor it and go, okay, this challenge is being put before me so that I can demonstrate my character and integrity. This challenge is being put before me so I can try, I can figure it out. I can learn from it. This challenge is being put before me so I get stronger. And even if it does suck, and there's a lot of things in life that do really suck, you still have to acknowledge that it's real and still try to find some meaning from it, even if you don't like it. I've been blessed to, as you know, a high performance guy, train a lot of elite military members, and they have this great phrase of embrace the suck, which is kind of the same way I say honor the struggle. You know, it's like, oh no, this sucks and it's going to make you better. Let's just embrace it. It's here. You can't turn away from it and pretend that this terrible thing or this calamity or this challenge in front of you isn't happening. You don't get to pretend anymore. You go, it's here. Let me embrace it. Let me honor it as an opportunity to grow and challenge and push myself, even if I don't like it, so that at least I have that sense of control that I am doing something. I am, even just defining it in a new way or seeing it in a new way, that's power in itself, and that can give you hope. That little sense of control of like, you get to determine the meaning can give you incredible hope. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please make sure you, I know this is a personal development community, so I know you've all read your Viktor Frankl Man's Search for Meaning. And if you have not read that, what a great year to read this book. It is the foundational book in all personal development. I've never met a personal development person who does not recommend Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl, because he showed that even in the Holocaust of the worst possible imaginable circumstances and settings, under the worst and dire situations of humanity, that you can take command of your own mind. And you can determine meanings that will give you hope to carry on. And that energy itself is a survival mechanism. And it's really deep. It's really important for people to realize, because I see people, listen, there's a lot of struggle right now. We have lots of friends. I was, from all over the country who are under the snow right now, lacking power, lacking water. We've certainly seen our fair share of that in Puerto Rico. I saw that. That was like, what's going on in Texas right now? That was growing up. That's where we came. That was Montana. It was like all the time. So it's like when we go through these things and we don't like it, and it's terrible, we can express outrage and everyone's to blame and this is terrible and how could this happen? And that's good and useful to change policies, maybe to improve things. But at the same time, internally, we must find a way to define a meaning. And again, that allows us, coming back to the word integration, we have to integrate what's real. This is a struggle. This is difficult. You can acknowledge it. This is hard. I don't like this, but I'm going to see myself through. And this is hard. I don't like this, but I'll remain myself and strong throughout this. This is hard. I don't like this, but I'll find one thing to be grateful for today. This is hard. I don't like this, but I will do a good job through it so the kids see me endure well. This is hard. I don't like this. So I'm going to make sure I take at least one step today, even if sending an email or reaching out to somebody, because that one step will show that even in hardship, I'll keep moving on. I will teach myself to carry on. And that teaching myself to carry on will build more confidence and strength and faith in myself and in the world.
So good.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember and you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.